I guess we should get into beer news. People seem to like that in the last episode. So you got any exciting beer news there, Bill?
Well, I don't know if it's exciting, but we have some beer news. Let me get into my sharing here. All right. Well, I guess before I do that, first on the news is Deschutes Brewing has debuted some new year-round editions. There's a Squeezy Rider pictured here. Doesn't that look good?
Squeezy Rider.
Squeezy Rider. It's coming out in March. It's 7%, and it's coming out in 12 ounce, 6 cans, 12 ounce. Bright and hoppy with a big tropical flavor of Strata hops. There it is, right there for you.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Laid back bitterness. I like my bitterness laid back. You know what I mean?
Everybody does.
There's a new variety pack coming out in April with some new choices. It's going to have some of the favorites: Fresh Squeeze, Fresh Haze, Inversion, and this one I hadn't heard about, which I want, Symphonic Chronic.
I think I have that Snoop Dogg album.
Oh, it's the bomb. I have Symphonic Chronic 2001.
Yeah.
And then they're also coming out with a Red Chair Northwester IPA. It's a pale ale with bold hop aroma and a clean finish coming out February. That's before March. So they're not necessarily in order.
Well, after 2020, who knows when months come out? Like the order of months might not even apply anymore.
I never know what day it is, But anyway, it's a Northwest Pale Ale with a bold hop aroma and a clean finish. It's a fan favorite, it says. So maybe it's been out before.
What is that? Is that
Northwest beer twice?
What is that on the label?
It looks like it's ski lift that hasn't taken off or something.
Why are the seats really brown? I don't know. Anyways,
that's part of the appeal. And then lastly, the Neon Daydream, which when I read it sounded amazing. 4.8%. I like that. Coming out May through July in 12-pack of cans. It's a hazy summer ale that radiates like the glow of the light behind closed eyes on a long summer day. That's what they say here.
Wow.
So there you are. There's a new Deschutes coming out. Some of them actually might have been out before, but there you go. If you're a Deschutes fan, do you like Deschutes?
Label on that looks like a Pink Floyd album.
Oh, label art. We should talk about that later.
Yeah. I don't want to jump the gun, but we got some good label art stuff lined up for a little bit later in the show. At least we think it's good. You'll probably think it's amazing.
Art is subjective. You know what I mean? So then Half Acre from Chicago partnered with another Chicago legendary brewery, Revolution, to make the Deep Wood series of barrel-aged beers, which On and On Part 1, which pictured here, is coming out soon in January. And then
is that a mushroom?
That's an Imperial Porter. It looks like Groot is wearing... What is that? Interesting.
It looks like a booger with a dress on. I think it's a mushroom now.
It says here that's what it is.
Well, good. I was right. They nailed it.
So that's an Imperial Porter. I don't know if you can read that there. That's part 1. And then there's going to be later on in the year a barrel-aged barley wine, On and On Part 2, the sequel.
Sometimes the sequels aren't as good as the original. I'm just saying.
Yeah, a lot of times. Sometimes they're better. Terminator 2. You got one?
Oh, I love Terminator 2.
That was great. Somebody the other day was telling me Ace Ventura 2 was one of his favorite movies of all time, which is pretty funny, don't you think?
Yeah, but the first one, you didn't know what was coming. It was all new. It was hilarious. But the second one was just yeah, we get it.
I think you have to watch it a few times. That's what I did, and then it started. That happens to me with movies in the theater. Yeah. So then we're coming to something you sent me, Brew You, which, as you know, it's a Philly startup from where I am. And they're
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. I love the cheese here. And what it is, it's a way to electronically buy your friends a drink. So basically, all you do is, here's Brew You. You pick your recipient, right? Sally, Mary. You pick your bar.
Wait, can you go back? Can you go back one?
Yeah, I can.
Go back. Sally Smith and go ahead, forward one.
Back one or forward one?
Forward one. And Joe Smith look a lot alike.
You think buying his sister a drink?
He's buying. No.
Yeah. So basically, if you were going to buy your friend a drink, you go on, right?
Yeah. Look, you go on there and it says search by name or phone, and it says Sally Smith.
Sally Smith.
And look at that picture, and then jump ahead, Joe Smith. They must be twins.
I don't know what happened. But then you pick your bar, right? And then you basically pick your drink, which I don't have a graphic for that. And then you say the person receives this. Cheers! Somebody bought you a drink.
Wow.
And I guess it said it wasn't made. It was before. It was made before this, but it's really finding legs now. But I guess once it does come back, it'd be pretty cool if you're in a bar and you just electronically get a drink from that bar.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But then like that would be kind of like stalkerish, right? Like you're in the bar and then you're like, oh man, that girl I went on a date with 3 weeks ago just bought me a drink and she's not here. How does she know I'm here?
Or like your friend buys you one, he's like, thanks for inviting me, jerk.
Yeah, insult drinks. It could be a whole like new genre. Like that's where the money's at, in insult drinks. Like, thanks for not inviting me, here's a beer.
Send a drink to your worst enemy.
Yeah, the guys that sent us this press release they do a similar thing to what we do. They're called Breweries in PA. And they cover all the breweries in PA. Not Wisconsin, but Pennsylvania.
Yes, where I live, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. The
Keystone State. And then we're coming up to, did you hear about this? A Keystone Light truck crash. Did you hear about this? A truck carrying Keystone Light crashed on Highway I-70 in Colorado, causing the road to be shut down.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't even know Keystone Light existed, right? Still.
No, it does.
I knew it was around back in the day, but
big in the NASCAR circuit. I bet you there's a Keystone Light NASCAR car.
Oh yeah, there probably is. But basically, they think it was just an accident. But I talked to the cops, and they're looking for this guy who fled the scene.
There's an APB out for that guy.
I don't want to leave him up, but I have to because I don't have another graphic until the next one.
My uncle.
He left. Oh my God, he doesn't like his beer unbitter. You know what I mean?
Bitter beer face.
He's like, there's a Keystone Light truck. And then here's my last news story. A dad recently bought his son a beer from the grave. Basically, 6 years ago, he died. And he gave his wife, and I guess his wife and his sister kept this secret. So when the son turned 21, they told him that your dad wants to buy you your first beer. And so they gave him $10 from the dad. That's pretty sweet, right?
That is it. I'm not crying. You're crying.
There's a picture.
Oh
no.
No. That dad would be so disappointed.
Son! He's heaven.
He's rolling over in his grave right now.
All right, that's not really him. I don't know who that is, but
that's funny.
Son!
Wow, for a second there, I was like, oh, and then I was like, wait a minute.
You having a White Claw? He's like, it was $12, Dad.
Yeah.
The 10 didn't cover it.
Thanks a lot, Dick.
Right.